Our first learning objective was talking about the viewing window. So it says, when graphing, it is often important to be able to edit the viewing window. In Desmos, we're going to push this little tool right here, which is located in the top right-hand corner. And we should see this box right here appear. So before we kind of go over what we're looking at in this box, let's just see if we can find it first. Since this is the first time we're using Desmos, just pull up your internet and just type in Desmos. Now, when I type it in, it automatically goes to .com/calculator. But if I just hit Desmos and we go, I would probably just go to this graphing calculator one right here. But if we don't, and you hit Desmos, you want to then click open graphing calculator. So this is where we're going to spin. And so when you go to desmos.com/calculator, here's where we're going to spend most of our time. So it says in our notes to hit our little tool, which is in the top right-hand corner. And so that is this right here. It says graph settings. So here's the box that we have in our notes. And more than likely yours say the exact same thing, but they might say something a little bit different, and that's okay. So going back to our notes, I'm going to be going back and forth here. What does everything in this box mean? Well, we typically are going to be changing this x-axis, this y-axis, and then occasionally this step right here. So those are kind of the main things we want to do. I often actually unclick this minor grid line because it's annoying to me, but that's a preference. So your x-axis. It says this is the minimum and maximum value displayed on the x-axis. And when you're in your homework, you're going to see this referred to, let me just stay in color, I guess, as the X min and the X max. So what is the minimum X value and what is the maximum X value? So if I flip back over here to Desmos real quick, you can see in our graph, that's exactly what we have. This is my X-axis, this horizontal line. And we have a minimum value of -10 and a maximum value of 10. Okay, and so what does this step mean? This step is the distance between the tick marks on the x-axis. This is also going to be called your X scale, which is abbreviated as X and then SCL. Now, in ours in Desmos, we don't have a scale put in here or a step. So if I go in here and I put in a 1, you can see now it's counting by ones. So from 0, it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so on all the way up until 10. If I change this to a 2, now it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and I could even change it to like 5. And so now it just goes 0, 5, 10. 0, -5, -10. So this step is how this is going to be counting by. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to a 1. And I kind of explained, I really hate these minor grid lines. So I'm going to take them away and it makes it just a little bit cleaner. Okay, but you can keep them on there and they have, you know, these, but it just looks messy to me. So I'm going to unclick that. Okay, so going back to our notes here. These say the exact same thing, but for the Y. So now my y-axis, this is the minimum and maximum value displayed on the y-axis, and you will see this listed as X min, Y min and Y max. Okay. And then my step right here is what my y-axis then is counting by. So the distance between the tick marks on the y-axis, also called our y scale, which will be that y SCL. Okay, so if we look at this here, I think it changed a little bit on me, maybe not. But we have our numbers here, so that's what it's going by. And if I want to change my step right now, it looks like it's automatically going by 2s. So if I change that to 1s, now everything's going by 1s. If I want to change it to the threes. Now it's going 0, 3, 6, 0, -3, -6. So we're going to be messing with this quite a bit because a lot of times our graphs are going to be very zoomed out. So we need to be familiar with going to this little wrench and changing the values for x-axis, y-axis. The step's just kind of a preference. If you don't put something there, it will do a step for you. But sometimes it is kind of nice to be in control of that, okay? So let's see if we can kind of do this. I'm going to do the Y, min, max, and scale, and then I want you to pause the video and try doing the Y, min, max, and scale and see how you did. Okay, what is my Y min? Well, here, or sorry, my X min. Here is my X axis. So what is the lowest value on that X axis? That's over here at -10. My highest is 10. And then what is my scale for my step? So we know that the origin right here is at 0, 0. These can't be going by ones because otherwise this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what are these little tick marks going by? Well, if we count by twos, we'll get there, right? This is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 0, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. So each of those little tick marks are counting by twos. Okay, pause the video and see if you can now answer the Y, min, max, and scale, which is talking about this y-axis right here. Okay, I hope you paused the video. Let's see how you did. What is the lowest value on my y axis? And that's right here at -3. What is my y max? Well, my highest value on my y-axis is 15. Okay, what was that scale? Well, again, they're not going by ones because that'd be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15. Can't be by twos either because that'd be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But if we go by threes, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 0 to -3 right there. Okay, we have one more example, and this is kind of what your homework's going to look like when it's talking about these viewing windows, but we do need to be able to change it in Desmos. But pause the video and see if you can answer these. Okay, I hope you paused the video. So let's go over this. What is the Y, min, max, and scale? Well, this one even has it labeled right here, your X. So your X is your horizontal line. It's going from -10 to 10. So my min is -10. My max is 10. And then what are each of those counting by? Well, they're counting by ones. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're all counting by 1. And exact same thing for your Y. It's going from -10 to 10. And it is counting by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10. This graph above is what is called the standard viewing window. And I don't think it's supposed to have parentheses right there, or quotation marks right there. So this is called the standard viewing window. A lot of times it's not going to give you what they want the dimensions to be for your graph. As we go through other ones, it will literally tell you what it wants you to change your graph to. Sometimes they're going to just say, view this in the standard viewing window. So you need to know that this right here is your standard viewing window. -10 to 10 going by ones, and -10 to 10 also going by ones. So we need to keep that in mind. It's not going to come up super frequently, but it is frequent enough that we do need to be familiar with that.